tape. Crump has a 2.5-inch reach advantage, and that may help him out in the striking realm.
We send it back to Jason Nivens.
This bout is brought to you by Solar Cowboy Casey. Roping solar savings for you in your business or home. Fighting out of the blue corner, Caleb Crump! And fighting out of the red corner, Zach Long! Your referee is Zach Tybris.
Round number one. Tonight's fight clock is presented by Hoy Excavating. Black and blue trunks for Caleb Crump, black and white trunks for Zach Long. Straight right hand from Long.
Right here, as you see, both styles are open.
Kick to the cup, time called immediately by Zach Tybris.
Ooh, I heard that one. That one was a very rough one. You know, that's what happens in open stance. As you see, one person was right hand forward, the other person was left hand forward. And when you have that throw kick, you have the possibility of throwing it too low when someone pressures in, as Zach Long did. You know, you're supposed to control your kicks at all times. It was a very much an accident, but ooh-wee.
There are a few random boos. Julian, I've commentated fights in 26 countries. 100% of the time when someone is kicked in the cup, somebody feels compelled to boo. We just heard it here.
As we did, yeah. And as you saw right there, Zach threw the jab and Crump wanted to throw a kick. They both met in the middle, and the aiming wasn't great.
So the boos have subsided. And the countdown of the 5-minute clock allotted to Zach Long.
Let's take another look right here. As you see, the kick, he stood straight up to go throw the punch. Zach jumps forward, and Crump goes to throw the kick, and it just went straight up and down. Had Zach not moved, that probably would have hit the front end of the quad. But Zach moved right into that soccer punt right there. We're going to say it definitely bounced off the goalpost for sure on that one.
That's very well said. I see why Miley Cyrus likes you.
Oh, there we go. The ref has taken a point right there. The ref he saw that it felt like it was intentional, it was unavoidable.
Confirmation from referee Zach Tybris. To us, Julian, at our commentary position, Tybris taking 1 point. That's exceedingly rare, and that's a big criticism from pro MMA fighters. It's almost the theory of the first kick to the cup is free, not for Zach Tybris.
Yeah, if you look here, this is a very powerful kick. His kick didn't have an angle to it. It just went straight up, and it literally was a soccer kick. And that's the one thing, you know, I would not want to take that kick from any person. Doesn't matter their popularity. It doesn't matter their, you know, standing. That kick is, you know, that kick deserves to be on, you know, the national football team for a 64-yarder.
Again, that's a big debate in the refereeing community. What do you do in those situations? And again, it's exceedingly rare that on the first kick to the cup, the point is taken. And I think that's well done by Zach Tybris. It's not always the intent on an illegal action, and it's subtle, but it needs to be pointed out. It's not always the intent. It's oftentimes the action.
Well, the tides can churn. I mean, you look, that's a kick right into the softest spot in the male body, to where that could damage the wind, that could damage the pop, that can damage the, you know, complete adrenaline rush that you have right now. It changes the tide. Now, if any point in time Zach had the power, it probably is now dwindling down just because he can't really get his breath back. He can't really get his stomach back. And that's one thing about the groin kick. It's not something that you can recover easily from, just kind of like a liver shot too. It's very difficult.
It looks very likely that Zach Long will continue. If he chose not to continue or said he were unable, this would be a no contest. But Long says that he is ready. Does not take the allotted full 5 minutes. Right back to it. Time in. Round number 1 resumes.
Back in, we're talking about we're open stance, so you should see a lot of power side from both of these guys. That's going to be their backhand, should be leading off the punches. The jabs won't be harder to get through the guards.
Crump looking for this shot. Hits the takedown on the double leg. Two very accomplished college wrestlers now grappling on the waist cinch, looking from the suplex, looking for belly to back. Difficult to find from this position though for Crump, but he still hits the takedown.
Crump has a great body lock, you know, from the Greco background experience that he has. As you see, he's holding down and keeping constant pressure on Zach's body to keep him from standing tall like he's doing. And when he stands tall, he's going to lift. When he's leaning, he's going to pull.
Last sequence, that knee to the head was legal because Long was not grounded. Another takedown. One hook in, now standing, turn from Zach Long. Heavy pressure standing from Caleb Crump.
Zach Long needs to get his back flat to the cage, move his left arm over the head, and it's going to square him up so that way he can lock in an over-under. Right now, what would be good for Crump to do is he's going to take his right leg and go behind Zach's left leg and pull it right through, and that's going to drop him. But he's trying to keep on using a lot of energy to do these Greco throws.
Crump again looking belly to back, couldn't hit it. Long right back to his feet.
The amount of energy that Crump is using to hold Zach Long right now can damage him later in the rounds. He's trying to pick Zach up to slam him down. Zach's landing in a good position to stand right back up. You know, as we say, you can either take the 100-mile mountain or the 100-mile road. And right now, Zach is going through the 100-mile road while Crump is taking that 100-mile mountain, and he's riding along with Zach the entire time.
Long was looking for the switch a moment ago, couldn't find it. That knee to the head legal as well because Long, again, is the previous knee to the head, not grounded.
This right here takes a lot out of Crump. You know, sitting there thinking like, okay, every time I take Zach down, he's getting up, or take Long down, he's getting up. It can be depleting for a fighter that's constantly taking these takedowns. He's had, what, over 5 takedowns, and Zach stood up every single one. You
see the chest hold, staying tight as Caleb Crump. As he's looking to turn off of the fence, can't do it, now puts his own back against the fence.
As you see right now, you can see the hands of Crump. They are tired. They are absolutely exhausted from grabbing a hold of that gable grip. You can see he's trying to grab something and hang on, but he's losing his grip a lot easier. He's doing a good job of leaning Zach Long over his right leg. If he keeps driving it, it's going to go there, but his grip is what's really affected right now from hanging on for the first 3 minutes of this fight.
Crump fishing for the far side ankle pick. Long doing a good job defending it with his right hand. 140 remaining, round number 1. Scoop on the double. Long again trying to explode back to his feet. Crump trying to walk up the body. Getting back to the gable grip for Caleb Crump, and back to his feet goes Zach Long.
So Zach needs to turn hard into it, get his back flat to the mat, or flat to the cage. That's going to give that over-under. There, he's trying it right there. Going for the ooh. Now he's back up.
Long trying to turn, trying to scramble. Now it's Crump with his back against the fence. Good turn off of the fence from Caleb Crump. 60 seconds remaining in a very tactical round number 1.
Great movement by Crump on the cage, man. Going left and right and not allowing Zach Long to settle. That's a very good IQ of a grappler right there.
One hook in. What do you see? The grinding head pressure, that's legal. It's not a butt, but it's so smart with that grinding head pressure.
Yeah, one thing that Crump can do to keep more posture was lace his leg, his left leg underneath the right leg. As you can see, his left leg's going underneath the right leg of Zach Long. If he hooks that leg and stretches it out, it's going to keep that lock-in pressure to where he can throw combinations and punches while being in that position. But
Crump trying to open the neck with 20 seconds remaining, round number 1, looking for the rear naked choke. 1 point deduction for Caleb Crump, but he's won that point back. This looks to be a 9-9 round.
We definitely have an even round here, but if you look, it seems like Crump his arms are shot from that grappling exchange he had the whole time.
That is the end of round number 1.
What I like to do is look at the posture of the fighters walking back to the octagon, or back to the side of the cage of their corners, and see how they're talking. Right now, Crump has a great game plan of putting Zach Long against the cage, using his Greco-Roman grappling expertise, holding on to him. But it takes a lot when your fighter keeps getting up. Zach Long's doing an impressive job of every time he's on the ground, he's getting the mat returned and lifting right back up, fighting the hands, which causes, Crump to overwork those hands, and his forearms are probably bleeding right now of just all adrenaline and blood.
Julian, judges love to look at rounds like this and debate 10-9 or 10-8. Now, in theory, with the 1-point deduction, we're talking about a 9-9 or a 9-8, but with a 10-8, you're talking about the 3Ds: damage, domination, duration. For me, that's a 10-9, or with the point deduction, a 9-9. There was definitely duration. There was domination positionally, but there was no damage. Very few strikes were thrown.
Absolutely, very few strikes were thrown, and it was just, he was hanging on there, getting past the round.
Round number 2. Long moving to the inside, the duck under off of the hook, driving pressure against Caleb Crump. Long again finds himself playing defense back against the cage.
As you see right here, Zach Long is not battling that head and arm. He's going over and unders right here, which was a good defense. Now he's got the body lock, and he has the fresher hands. Let's see how Crump is able to stop this.
Heavy upper body wrestling from Caleb Crump.
So as you see here, well, good thing Zach Long is doing, keeping the head pressure, but he's also attacking the legs. As you see, he's taking his left leg and he's playing with Crump's right leg. He's either gonna bring it forward, go behind it and pull it. He's gonna step in front of it and try to pull him down. He's going behind him, so he should lift. Oh, combination's good.
Good left hand that takes Crump off of his striking line. Now aggressively comes in Zach Long. Another big left hand from Long. Driving shot that's easily defended on the sprawl, now to the brawl. There's an inverted triangle there for Zach Long if he sees it.
I don't know if Zach Long is going to go for the inverted triangle, but I believe Zach should sprawl out and get on top and get in position. Right now, Crump is actually looking like he's tired. He's fatigued. Those punches in the stand-up hurt him, and as you see, these punches here are damaging him. You don't want to be on bottom with Zach Long. I can tell you that from experience.
On the scramble, trying to take the back, and that's nicely done on the scramble from Crump, and nicely done right back to counter for Zach Long. This is high-level wrestling from both fighters.
These boys are going after it. They're going after it. It doesn't matter. They're not giving up 1 inch for the other. They're sitting there fighting in every position. Man, this is causing for an exciting fight right here.
2:55 remaining, round number 2. This is my type of fight. I love tactical positional grappling.
One thing that would be real good is Zach's getting real high. He needs to sit back and bring his hands to Crump's waist. That's going to keep the control very strong. Ooh, Crump going for an invert. Ooh, what is he doing here?
Back into the half guard, dives Zach Long.
Now this is
he trying to roll through, reach under, couldn't find it.
He went for an opportunity and Zach capitalized on it. Right here, all Zach needs to do is keep his body on top of Crump. He needs to keep his hands underneath the shoulder of Crump and using his left arm, getting a couple points, throwing the punches, doing that. Again, if he could switch his body, Zach Long could switch his body to the other side between Crump and the cage, it will give him a little bit more position and more control.
Nearly into the whizzer. Instead gives his back down as Caleb Crump. Excellent balance and reaction from Zach Long.
Crump's going to need to just explode up. He can't just sit there and wait. Zach's doing a good job of being on the hips and the waistline of Crump, which is not allowing him to stand up fully.
Nothing on that guillotine attempt for Caleb Crump. Long diving back in with the left and the right hand into the open guard of Caleb Crump.
We have 90 seconds left right now. Crump is looking a little bit fatigued, a little bit tired. His arms are kind of burnt out from that first round like I was talking about. And Zach is doing good. He's keeping good positional spots. He's winning. And all he needs to do is add a little couple punches to strike. And it will lead into the 3rd round right now.
Now 65 seconds remaining, round number 2. It's Long trying to implement his ground and pound. Open guard again. You see the left foot on the hip, the right hip of Long from Caleb Crump. Looking for a triangle, looking for an armbar, possibly an omoplata, couldn't find it. On the scramble, and now Caleb Crump getting one hook in.
This right here, I mean, if he adds a lot of damage, this could take the round. Crump can take the round right here. This is where who wants it more. Zach Long needs to get up. Zach Long needs to get his back to the cage, stand up, explode up.
Here's the back half now for Caleb Crump, and back and forth we go. Left hands from Caleb Crump, now looking rear naked choke. Has one hand through, just a crank position, fishing for the other hand.
It's not on the chin, it's not there, but this is the thing, is Crump took the opportunity in that round to throw punches to get the domination or the damage. You know, even though Zach Long controlled majority of the round, it's very difficult to score because the person that added more punches and more damage into it, it goes there. So that's a tough one for the judges. Right now we have it, you know, round 1 is even. The second round, it's now a toss-up just because of that little exchange.
Next stop, the third and final round.
Now, these are my favorite rounds. When you go into the third round, it shows right there who has the most heart, who has the most discipline, what corner is leading their fighter to the right, giving them the right advice, as well as which fighter is going to listen to their corner. Because when you're dead tired, if you can't talk to your fighter as a cornerman, it is something that it's a struggle, it's a stressor. You know, James Krause was able to talk to me between round 2 and 3 to get me the victory in round 3, and this is where these guys are at right now. They need a victory. It could be 1-1, it could be 2, or it could be a toss-up. We don't know, but this is round 3, and I'm ready to see what these guys have in store.
Referee Zach Tybris starts the third and final round. Caleb Crump versus Zach Long in the welterweight division.
Zach keeps his standing and throws those punches. His range, he's going in for the strikes, but if he kept the range, I think Zach could end up getting a nice wobble finish. He had him hurt in the second round, had Crump hurt in the second round, but you know, when you're tired, it's very hard to punch.
Long, you can see fishing for the trip, couldn't find it. Good base now to the S grip, and the turn off the S grip for Caleb Crump.
Zach Long needs to drop his butt low and then walk it out the back, as he's doing right there, and it's going to help get it. He now needs to switch his hips hard to the other side.
Looking for the double on the collapse. Crump bringing Long's knees together for the takedown.
This is a grueling pace for both these guys. This is a grueling fight for both these guys. It takes a lot of energy to wrestle for 15 minutes. They've done 10 of it. They have 4 minutes remaining, and it's just been an electrifying match back and forth.
Crump sucking in the far side arm of Zach Long. Grant Dawson emphatic in the corner of Long, telling him to stand up. Don't accept this bottom position. Crump walking up the back.
Zach Long is actually out. As long as he just churn real hard, he's going to be able to get it. It doesn't matter if Crump has that foot in. It does not matter if he reaches down, he can lift it up. But if he just turn and faces him, he'll get his arm over and be able to get out.
Crump triangling through for base, trying to turn.
Crump is doing a good job of keeping that body weight on top of Zach to make him feel uncomfortable. It feels like he can't do the moves that his coaches are calling out. It's very difficult, and that heavy weighted blanket is what he's acting like right now, to where, you know, it's causing a little frustration in Zach, and it's causing fatigue as well.
Two folk-style college wrestlers, but you can really see that Greco-Roman influence in the grappling MMA game of Caleb Crump in this fight.
You know, Crump is very high right now. He's doing a smart by grabbing underneath Zach Long's leg and hooking it. That allows him not to stand up or tripod up. That right there is just, he's holding a cradle, and if Zach were to stand up, he can go for the rear naked choke, as you saw him try to. But this right here is just a stall out position because he's tired. He's not really inflicting damage. He's doing smart by keeping his legs crossed and one leg behind Zach Long's right leg, and it doesn't allow him to extend his body out. Is he going for No, I thought he was going to go for a little spladle action there.
Just heavy pressure. You see the arms not through around the neck, almost hooking the half Nelson now on the near side is Caleb Crump. This is just positional control, trying to flatten out. Crump now lefts to the head of Zach Long. Long suddenly playing a lot of defense. 150 remaining, third and final round.
Zach Long right now needs to remove the hooks on his legs, using his feet to kind of pry those feet apart. And then once he gets one hook open, that's when he needs to start moving to branch his body up. Is he stopping it to stand up?
There's the stand up from referee Zach Tybris.
What?
Let's go.
That's a very unique call right there, but that's an opportunity for Zach. Let's see if he can take advantage of it.
Now the gable grip on the body lock for Zach Long. Level change, looking for the single now is Zach Long.
Zach is just trying to run around the outside, but what Crump is doing with that arm was great, and it allowed him to get that scare of a submission to open up Zach Long to turn him to the back. And this is a very tough position to be in for Zach Long. You know, you have to move your legs. You have to open up your legs. He has them crossed. That means he's accepting the position.
In that closed half guard of Zach Long is Caleb Crump, staying heavy, chest to chest, but out of ground and pound range. Posturing now with the forearm is Caleb Crump. Here comes the ground and pound with the right hand. See the leg entanglement. Crump staying heavy, holding top position. Long looking for the reversal, looking for the sweep from the bottom. Closing stages of this fight. 20 seconds remaining, third and final round. It's been extremely technical on the ground, extremely tactical on the ground.
It's wrestler versus wrestler, you know, athlete versus athlete. These guys have been grueling out for the past 15 minutes, and this is going to be a tough one to call with that draw in the first round, a toss-up in the second. In the third round, we can give it to Crump. So
the bell, the end of the fight.
You know, there was a lot of great attributes that both these fighters showed in this fight whenever they're against the cage. Their control, their awareness. At the beginning, they were super excited, flipping back and forth, changing the guard, changing the position, as well as when it came into the second round, you saw more heart come out of both of these guys. They battled, and even in the third round, it was very difficult. You know, the refs stopped him up and gave Zach Long an extra opportunity to strike and go, but Crump just had a little bit more gas in the tank with his body, and he was able to get that top position in the third.
Julian, this could be a draw if you look at the math. Round number one definitely is Caleb Crump's round, but the 1 point deduction for the kick to the cup of Zach Long makes it 9-9. Round three, most definitely Caleb Crump's round. Round number two, a very close round. Long had the first half of the round, Crump had the second half of the round.
It's very difficult because when you look at it, like you said, in the second round, you know, you had Crump take over the last half, and that's what the judges see as the last part of the fight. Or in some eyes, I shouldn't say all of them, but I don't know, man. It's a very tough one to call. I have it second round for Zach Long, but we never know. It might be a draw.
We could be headed to 28-28. Time to end all suspense. Here's Jason Nivens.
Ladies and gentlemen, all three judges have scored this bout 28-28, and it has been ruled a draw.
Well, you learn a couple of things being chairman of the MMA Rules and Regulations Committee. 28-28 across the board, so we break down the math. We're not privy to the scorecards, but it's pretty easy to deduce. Round number one is 9-9. All three state of Missouri judges then giving it 10-9 round two to Long, 10-9 Crump round number three, 28-28. This is a unanimous draw.